What up, what up, what up, fam?
Hey yo,
Here we go.
what's Gucci? Hey, we back. We back with another live mock draft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I'm too far to the right. Hey, let me go a little bit to the left. I also have a question for everyone watching: glasses, glasses,
Yeah.
or no glasses? Which look do we like better? I'm trying to figure it out myself. So, go ahead and comment in the chat. Let us know. We are live right now. We basically, for anyone watching this after the live stream, we are about to do a live mock draft with our community, the Fantasyland fam. And if you want to be a part of this, super simple. There's a link in the description, solo.to/fantasylandfootball. And that will allow you to join our Discord server, which is where we send these links and everyone kind of joins and hangs out. So,
Yeah. I'm pumped.
so people are telling me I look good in anything. So I'm gonna rock the glasses for a little bit. These are actually
Yeah.
my wife's glasses. They're not even mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Nah, I won't call out. I won't call out Karina. I won't call
Yeah,
her.
no. There will be no name shaming. Okay.
It's something big though.
So, Badaki, tell people the mock draft we're about to do. Everyone watching, whoever is watching and mocking with us, and for the people who are only watching, tell them the mock draft we're about to do.
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing a 12-team PPR mock draft, redraft. So, whichever strategy that you have, whether it's running back first, wide receiver first, quarterback, however you kind of like it, it's just a redraft. That's really what it is.
That's right. We're going to switch these up as we go, but we felt like today we wanted to do a PPR. It's our favorite way to play, redraft.
Yeah.
We do love Dynasty as well. We will continue to do those. We're going to switch it up all the time for you guys. So, all right. What we're going to do now is, Badaki, if you can bring up the draft board.
Yeah, let's go there. We should be Gucci. There we go. Oh, boy.
Okay. So what we're going to do, as I change my camera around, is we're going to randomize this draft. All right. So everyone's ready. Here we go into draft settings.
Oh, boy.
Draft order, randomize teams.
Oh,
So
you're kidding me.
what the? Why do I always get 6 or 7? I
Yeah.
always get 6 or 7. I can never get a spot that I really love.
I'm always in the top 3. I'm always top 3. 100%.
Shout out to Lucas McIntyre, my guy. I miss you. I miss LA, and I love you, of course. Okay, let's start this mock draft off. Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
I mean, let's be honest, everyone. It has to be a CMC M101. There's no doubt about it. On to the next one. It's kind of weird being the first one because it's like, okay, well, CMC, cool. Like we should all know this.
Yeah, it's like this isn't very hard.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
Dalvin Cook goes off the board at 1.2, Saquon at 1.3. And, this is where things are going to get interesting now. Is it Derrick Henry? Is it Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
Henry goes off the board first. And I think in a redraft, it makes sense to go either way.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. It's interesting. I think I would have, in my particular order, if I was fourth, I probably would have taken Alvin Kamara. Look, that can all change in the time to come, just purely because we don't know how that offense is going to look with Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston. So it's interesting.
Okay, so here I am on the board.
I mean,
Man, I hate this. I genuinely hate this position. Genuinely.
so who's your? So right now, currently, I guess according to Sleeper's ADP, Jonathan Taylor, Ezekiel Elliott, Josh Jacobs are your top 3. I think I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's too early. I don't feel comfortable taking Zeke here. I don't feel comfortable. This is what's weird. I don't feel comfortable taking anyone
Right.
that's available at this position. I don't know if that makes sense. But because I like to start running back strong, I'm going to draft Jonathan Taylor and just pray and believe that Mac isn't going to be stealing some of those carries. So Jonathan Taylor's off the board at the 1.7. That might be too early. If I'm honest with you,
So
it might be too early.
It might be too early. So in this scenario, if you're taking Jonathan Taylor, are you taking Mac as the handcuff in the later rounds, just in case?
No, I'm actually going to take Hines.
Okay.
Because I feel like if Jonathan Taylor was to get injured, Hines' role would expand and Mac's role would stay the same as kind of like that fill in back. But
Right.
I don't think taking Devonta Adams at the 1.7 is stupid either. The only reason I didn't do that is because I just believe that there is so much depth at the wide receiver position later in the draft.
I agree.
So it's so much harder to find those running backs who are going to be the workhorses. And I didn't feel comfortable with Zeke there. Although I am, if I'm honest, I am more and more that we go throughout the offseason, I am raising Zeke in my eyes compared to the trash we've talked about in this entire offseason.
Yeah, and I agree with you. You know, where was Zeke going in the early trash talks? What, 2.9, 210 around there?
Yeah, he's going real late second round, and I don't think he escapes the first round, and I don't think he should, to be honest. I think, if you see that's the thing. I would much rather have drafted where Lucas is at the 111 and known that Zeke was on the board, taking Zeke and then come back and taking, another running back or whatever he wants to do. I hate the middle with a passion. I know that Noah says the same thing. He hates the middle. We're drafting right beside each other.
But I think
that's
makes
good
sense.
value late. At the 112 at the turn, it went Aaron Jones and Austin Eckler. I don't hate starting that way, and I think we are potentially undervaluing Eckler this year.
I think so as well. That's what I was going to say. I love Aaron Jones coming off with Jamal Williams out of Green Bay, and then Austin Eckler. We haven't. I mean, this is pre-draft, so unless they get somebody in the draft that can potentially take touches away from him, Austin Eckler is still going to be that workhorse that we all know and love.
Yeah, I agree. Travis Kelce went off the board for the 11 spot, so it's Zeke and Kelce to start a draft. I love that. That's beautiful in my eyes. Because you know how much we were both high on Kelce last year.
Yeah,
it's the one position, the one player at any position that has the biggest advantage. Whoever could finish as an RB1, right? It could be CMC, it could be Cook, it could be Saquon, it could be Henry, Kamara, Jonathan Taylor, Chubb. Like anyone could finish the RB1. It feels like a lock that Kelce will be the tight end one. And I don't think it will be all that close.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Obviously, the huge, amazing talent in Kyle Pitts that's coming in. He could be the new Travis Kelce in the coming years because Travis Kelce is older, but Travis Kelce does have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. We have to see where Kyle Pitts goes, but I do like Zeke and Travis. Miles Sanders at a 2-3. DK Metcalf, which is interesting. 1992 Niners. I don't know how to say that, but 2 wide receivers. Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf. How you feel about that?
I feel good about it. I personally don't go wide receiver heavy early, but I understand the strategy if there's guys you like late. I am on the board now. Jonathan Taylor was the first guy I take. And again, I'm in a position where I hate everyone. I'm not going to take Josh Jacobs this early. I don't think he's going to get the volume we want him to. Joe Mixon, is he ever going to stay healthy or produce the way we think he can? Too early for James Robinson. I'm going to have to reach a little bit for my boy Cam Akers. I feel like Akers is going to be the focal point in this running game. It's not going to be a guessing game anymore. He showed his talent last year towards the end of the year, and now I feel like it's going to be his breakout year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Cam Akers here. Look, my opinion right now, at the moment, just because of everything that's happening, I like Cam Akers over Miles Sanders. So I would have taken Cam Akers over Miles Sanders. Obviously, that can switch. I think they're going to be flip-flopping in my rankings throughout the year to see what's kind of going to happen. Obviously, Cam Akers has a better quarterback now. Miles Sanders, we actually don't know what's going to happen with Tua and these weapons. Maybe their offense changed. Obviously, their offense is going to change. They got a new offensive coordinator or a new head coach. Sorry. So I'm interested. Antonio Gibson at the 2-7.
Antonio.
I like this pair right here. Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson. I think that's strong. 2 strong running backs. PPR running back.
Under back, and then you got the guy who can create anywhere on the field. I love
exactly. Oh,
I love me some Gibby.
Wow. That's who I was hoping to come around at the 2.
Really, in the redraft, you're gonna go quarterback early again.
I was gonna go Patrick Mahomes, but obviously that's what happens. So I'm interested to see I gotta check to see what I'm gonna be. I gotta start thinking.
Patrick Mahomes goes off the board at 2-9, but let's talk about 2-8. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Is that too early for Clyde? Because there is two. I'm kind of like in movies when there's like the devil on one side and like the angel on the other side. when it comes to Clyde, I'm constantly questioning myself. No, this is the year he's gonna be decent. No, but they always throw with Patrick Mahomes. Where do you sit on this pendulum?
I'm not excited about Clyde. Why? The offense and the team that he's on, I don't see Andy Reid giving Clyde more work, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think what he's done this past year is probably his middle ground. I think that's what he's going to be averaging. You know, his ceiling has to be somewhere really, really high up there. So,
okay, you're on the board now.
mm-hmm.
Chris Carson just went, as well as Joe Mixon before him.
Okay, so I'm going to take George Kittle here just because I have the back-to-back.
I hate it that he didn't come to me. I didn't think he would, but I love, one of the strategies I love to play is getting one of those two tight ends early. If somehow Kittle falls to me and I'm in that 3.2 or 3.3 spot, I'm cheering. If I can get Kelsey in the second round anywhere, I'm also cheering. Like that. That is one strategy I'm looking in every draft to try and capitalize on, is getting an elite tight end early.
Yeah, look, right now my thought process is going with James Robinson. I'll be honest with you. I don't like Josh Jacobs just because Kenyan Drake is there. But my other thought process is going with a wide receiver. I might switch it up here and see what other running backs can fall to me probably in the 4th round. And that receiver is actually going to be A.J. Brown. So I'm gonna try this.
Ooh, interesting. That's slightly controversial.
It is controversial, and that's why I'm saying obviously this is why we do mock drafts, just to see how things fall. Obviously, this is all going to get jumbled again. But the top 3 available running backs available according to Sleeper: Josh Jacobs, James Robinson, DeAndre Swift. I'm not in love with any of them. I do like James Robinson. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking Josh Jacobs because of Drake, and Swifty I like, but I'm still not in love with him. So
it's just like the issue is we were so high on Swift and not Jacobs so much, but we were high on their upside, their potential. And then the signings in the offseason with Jamal Williams. Why did we hate Aaron Jones last year? Jamal Williams. Why are we going to hate DeAndre Swift potentially this year? Jamal Williams. He's
exactly.
the guy just stealing those crucial touches. And then Josh Jacobs, his value is in such just big question mark now with Kenyan Drake.
And the expectation, I think we both expect from everything that we've been hearing, James Robinson and the Jags, they're thinking about drafting a running back in the 2nd round. So we don't know who that's going to be, whether that's, for example, let's say that's Najee, Chubba Hubbard, all these late round, 2nd round running backs. James could be losing touches. Who knows?
Yeah, he could. Okay, so Diggs goes off the board at 3-3, then Robinson, then Najee.
Our first
I think
rookie here.
Right now that's probably too early. In my opinion, that's too early for Najee. We don't know what team he's going to be on yet, so that could change, right? That could change depending on where he's drafted.
Yeah,
but all I would say is Josh Jacobs does have a role significantly more clear right now than Najee Harris, right? Is it a sexy role? Well, that's up for you to decide. But, he has a very clear role. So for me, late in 3rd, if I can start 3 running backs, and I know I have a guy, Josh Jacobs, who I know is going to get 8 touchdowns. He'll get most of the goal line over a guy like Kenyan Drake. So this is where I'm comfortable this late taking a guy like Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, same. I think that's a great pick. It's crazy. He was going late first last year on the turn to the 2nd round. It's interesting how. Ooh, I didn't see this. Stephon Diggs went 3-3.
Yeah, we talked about that. Well, what about Darren Waller at 3-6? Is that too early? Because it might not be. Like,
I don't think so.
Like, who did they bring in to compete with the targets for Waller? Like, who came in to take those targets away?
And that's the thing, and I think that's what's going to happen in this draft. There's tremendous talent in this draft. Obviously, they got rid of Nelson Aguilar. Tyrell Williams is now there as the big, taller, contested catch guy. I think they bring somebody else, another speedster, another big body on the other side of Tyrell Williams, because Tyrell Williams only has a 1-year contract. But I do like Noah's team: Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson, Darren Waller. I think all those his running backs are set, and his tight end.
Yeah,
he's a top.
I am not upset at the way he started his draft at all. Chubb, Gibson, and then Waller. I'm okay with it. I know it might be too early for Waller, but again, as Noah's saying in the chat right now, it's true. Like, tight ends are thin after the big three. So if you want to grab one and be sure, you have to do it earlier than most people. Now, this is why I say, let's look at the draft board right now, right? There's so much depth at wide receiver still. So a guy like the 1992ers drafting at the 1.9, you get the elite in Tyreek Hill and DK Metcalf, but then you have to get Melvin Gordon in the third. I'm not even sure. I really feel like the Broncos are going to bring in a running back. I don't think Gordon's going to be the guy.
Yeah.
So that's my issue with it, with going a wide receiver early, is you still have Thomas, Julio, Mike Evans, Adam Thielen, Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, Justin Jefferson are all still on the board, as well as Keenan Allen. It's the wide receiver group is so deep. It's hard to take a wide receiver in the first round, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's actually really hard. And Diggs still falling to the 3-3. I think that's crazy. Like, I would have it's interesting to see, because obviously this is still all going to change, but I think wide receivers are going to go high. They're going to keep getting bumped up. There's a lot of wide receivers that went in this mock draft. But I think Diggs and AJ Brown sneak into the second round in my opinion.
They could definitely go higher. Yeah. And I want to quickly highlight Montgomery and Gordon. I know we just talked about them, but they're big question marks going into this draft. So, with Montgomery, Tariq Cohen's coming back, and they didn't get better on offense. So, and this is where, let's look at 3-11. Kareem Hunt goes off the board. That's too early for Kareem Hunt. I'm just going to be honest. I personally think it's too early. I love you, Lucas. But this is why I'm saying you got to go running backs early. Look at the depth of wide receivers still on the board. So, and just to recap 3-5, Paul did comment in the chat. He said Najee's going to
the
Steelers. And in that scenario, that makes sense. That wouldn't be crazy if Najee landed with the Steelers and you take him at the 3-5. Okay, that makes sense, right? So it will change up to the draft.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts, 4-3.
I mean, this is what's going to happen. Once we know their team, we expect these guys to go early. Najee's to the Steelers, understandable. Kyle Pitts to really any team in the top 4 teams, top 5 teams, we understand. Travis Etienne as well. We both love him going to the Falcons. That's an automatic pickup start. This is a great area where Travis Etienne can be picked up.
And it really depends on the team.
Yeah, it does. It does depend on the team. That's who I had my eye on. That's who I thought was going to fall to me, and I was going to kind of talk about Travis Etienne going to the Falcons. I like him being the workhorse there. If that was the role he was going to play, obviously that's not the case. Michael Thomas at the 4-4, which is crazy. Yeah, I mean,
so then Calvin goes off the board after him, 4-5, and I'm sitting on the board, and Julio Jones is still there at the 4.6. Julio Jones, who went in the first round. The only reason he wasn't a wide receiver 1 last year is because of the injuries. I'm not worried. He's still an elite talent. And this is redraft. I don't have to think about 2022. I have to think about this year. I still think Julio Jones is an elite wide receiver, and I get him as my wide receiver 1 in the 4th round. I'm absolutely cheering. Before we talk about the rest of the draft, to everyone who's watching, if you could please drop a like on this video, that would mean so much to us, so other people can also find us. And if you could subscribe, if you're not subscribed, and turn on that bell so you can get notifications when we go live next time. That would mean a lot to us. But let's talk about it. Calvin Ridley and Julio go back to back. They're probably going to go around each other in the draft.
Yeah, I think so. There's really not much of a difference. Obviously, the whole thing with last year, Julio didn't get the touchdowns. Calvin really got the touchdowns. Julio got all the targets. It's kind of, I wonder if that's going to stay the same, if that's going to flip flop, or if that's going to be an even kind of thing that's going to happen last year or this year coming up. So I'm interested. Josh Allen at the 4-7, another I think great asset there. You're picking up that's the second quarterback going off the board actually, which is still great. So there's still a lot of depth in quarterbacks. Mark Andrews at the 4-8.
Sorry, just want to quickly jump in there again on Julio. I know I'm probably digging my point in too hard here, but he only played 9 games last year. Okay, right. He only played 9 games, still had 700, almost 800 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 51 receptions. If you span that out towards a regular game, he's still going to be around that wide receiver 1 mark. So injuries can plague an entire year. But it also can mean you get value next year when people undervalue players.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll leave it at. Okay, so Josh Allen goes off the board at the 4-7. Is that too high for Josh Allen?
I don't think so. In my opinion,
we're talking about the guy who was like the quarterback 1 or 2 last year. So.
Yeah, and especially with Noah's team, he has his foundation with his running backs. He has his tight end, then he went quarterback. That's
Good team.
It's a great team. So I kind of like what's happening there. I think there's still some talent in quarterbacks on the board. Obviously, Lamar, Russell, that's probably the only big. Deshaun, obviously, if he does play. Dak Prescott as well. So
and anyone who's mocking with sleeper, you have to know, by the way, this ADP and their ranking is shocking sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there's no way Trevor Lawrence should be going. He's the next quarterback after Lamar in their ADP. Guys, you're not going to draft Trevor Lawrence in a redraft over Kyler Murray, over Dak Prescott, over Watson if he figures out his legal issues, So like just keep in mind, don't draft only based off of the sleeper app because you will be disappointed later on, I expect. So Russell Wilson goes off the board in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm on the clock here.
Yep.
And there's no one that I like. Then the only person that sticks out to me currently before the draft, if they don't draft the running back, is Myles Gaskin.
Okay.
So I'm going to take Myles Gaskin here.
And you're in that position because you didn't take a running back
exactly
in the 2nd or 3rd round.
And
you did it to yourself.
Yeah, I did it to myself, and this is good. This is how people learn. So I'm making a mistake for other people that is doing this for the first time. Kenyan Drake, Todd Gurley, David Johnson, not happening. Okay, Javonte.
It's really like right after the 3rd round, the 4th round, it gets so weak at running back.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one you're looking at thinking, sheesh. Can we get a sheesh in the chat, please?
30 seconds here with another pick. I have 2 running backs. Maybe I should go another wide receiver. Mike Evans here with Tom Brady, Adam Thielen. Let's see a quarterback. Lamar, Kyler, Desean. Look, honestly, if Desean was playing, I would take Desean. So
yeah, but he's not. But I don't think he's well. You got less than 10 seconds now.
Okay, I'm just gonna go Mike Evans here. I think
not a bad way to start. Like you've got a solid squad. It's just the running back 2 that's the question right now.
Yeah, and I think this is what's fun. This is what's fun about it. For example, this is a great example. If you have a 49ers fan in your league, hey, you like George Kittle? Because I got George Kittle.
That's Badaki every day during the season to me. Text me, hey bro, you like George Kittle?
Yeah.
Hey bro, you like Cam Akers? Just every day.
You like Antonio Gibson?
Hey bro, you like Terry McLaurin? That's when you know he's trying to scheme.
That was literally me.
You know the schemers in your league. The people who are like, hey, bro, you like this guy? Yeah, well, let me do you a good deal for him. I'm not asking for much. Just give me Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I got CMC. I got the best running back in the league. You want the number 1? Easy. I want your whole team.
I love it. Just shout out quickly to everyone watching on YouTube. If you can drop a like on this video, that would mean a lot. Let's see how many likes we can get. In 3, let's see if we can jump up to 10 to 12 likes. Here we go. Let's count down. 3, 2, 1. Drop a like. Let's see how many likes we can get to. I'm curious. Okay. So Ronald Jones goes in the 5th round. Is that too early? Feels too early.
Look, this is the
someone just disliked our video. That's hilarious.
You gotta love it. They unliked it to dislike it. Yeah, honestly.
Okay, Ronald Jones, too early?
Yeah, Ronald Jones. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, and let me tell you why. There's no one else here. This is the only team that does have a running back by committee. Leonard Fournette signed a 1-year deal. I still think Ronald Jones is going to have a workload. How much? Not sure. But I think this is a good value, especially this is his running back 3. He has James Robinson, Derrick Henry, Ronald Jones as a flex, potentially. Just in case. If James Robinson gets hurt, Henry's out for a game, Ronald Jones can come in and step in.
Mm-hmm. I'm on the board now.
Uh-oh.
And it's crazy the depth at wide receiver because Kenny NYG is on the board still. And I don't love him in New York, but I know he's going to get targets. So getting him in the 5th round I feel really strong because he could be a wide receiver 1 because of the targets, right?
Right.
So I feel great about the way my draft has started. I would, let's lock it in. Let's just tell the guys in our other leagues, this is my team right now. Robert Woods goes before Kenny Galladay. Terry McLaurin, I probably would have taken Terry over Kenny, personally.
Right.
But how do you feel about the last couple of picks there?
I don't mind it. I like Terry where he's at. Roberto Woods. I mean, you expect their work value or their value and their workload to go up. They have a better quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Who's going to be the guy? I'm not sure. Matthew Stafford is used to having a big body guy.
Yeah.
Megatron. Kenny G stepped in. They're that 6'5", 6'4" type guy. He doesn't have that on this team. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, it will be interesting to see. If you're watching, by the way, a lot of people who are mocking with us are watching. Drop any questions you have. We'd love to reply to any questions that you have in the chat. We see some people chatting back and forth. But Zach, Tommy said, Zach, the only thing is I would say beware of your running backs. Yeah, there is some question on my running backs, but I think there's high potential for my first 2 picks there. I think Taylor and Akers have a great chance of finishing in the top 12 as running backs this year. So, but yeah, there could be some worry there. I think there's worry with every pick. I mean, let's look at last year's first round. Almost every first round pick did not really work out that well. Saquon, Christian McCaffrey. People took Michael Thomas in the first round. Yeah. Kenyan Drake, Josh Jacobs. So there's always going to be worry. That's very true. Okay, so Lamar goes in the 5th round this year. Last year was going in the 1st or 2nd, and now he's going in the 5th round. But what a change!
Classic Lamar. I love you, Lamar. Yeah, look, I expect. You know what? I think this offense is going to change. They're a run first offense. I still believe there's going to be a 40. It's actually, I believe it's going to be 50-50.
So you're saying Sammy Watkins will be a wide receiver 1 this year?
Absolutely.
Quote it on the board.
Absolutely not. I believe that they're going to be running more. I think what's going to happen is that, they're going to be throwing more. I don't believe that they're going to be running the ball as often as we think. I think Lamar's still going to run. He's going to scramble. Yeah. He's going to have pressure. I see them.
Oh, it's coming down to the wire for Lucas here. Oh, he takes OBJ. Okay, so he had a question. Sorry. His first question was, why did the Giants keep Daniel Jones? He sucks. Well, he's got a rookie contract, and I think this is the 3rd year. You can go ahead and address that quickly in the next 20 seconds. Address Daniel Jones.
Dave Gettleman gives 3 years to any player that needs to perform. Once you know your value and your worth of a player after year 3. If Daniel Jones doesn't perform this year, he's out. That's all I gotta say.
Okay, and then OBJ value, is this too high? Because he did draft OBJ this high. Maybe too high coming off the injury, right? There's other guys I would probably have taken personally over OBJ.
Yeah, there's some other. I see like Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore.
There's actually like 5 to 10 players I would have taken over OBJ there, if I'm just being honest. And this is why we do mock drafts. But I know Juju isn't sexy. He's questionable with OBJ, but Cooper Kupp, 100% I'm taking Cooper over OBJ this year. DJ Moore, I think DJ Moore has a better year with Samuel gone. And I still think that Darnold can make him relevant.
Oh, my goodness.
We just had 3 quarterbacks go off the board.
Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, and Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is interesting because we don't even know if he's going to start in week 1, depending on where he goes.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say with rookie quarterbacks specifically, guys. Even Trevor Lawrence, you shouldn't, in a redraft league, guys, all the rookie quarterbacks should be going late. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like 10th round and onwards late. Yeah. You don't know what it's going to be like. You don't want, imagine if, so Justin Fields, they're different players, but it's this year's Tua Tagovailoa, right? Like, you don't know what the fantasy output's going to be.
Right.
Too early, way too early to take a rookie quarterback there. Am I being too harsh?
No, I don't think so. I think that the only way he goes this high, he goes to a team that we know. If he goes to the Broncos, for example, he's going to play. Is his value this high? Probably not. But maybe people want to take a chance on him.
Yeah, it's just too high. Like you could have gotten him later, especially in a real. I think Sleeper might have these rankings really bad. But okay, I'm on the board, and the guy I talked about heavily just then was Cooper Kupp. He's still available. I'm going to take Cooper Kupp, and I feel great about the way I started my draft with Jonathan Taylor. I do have 2 Rams. I don't love that, but I can also use the trade market after the draft.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, I would have taken DJ Moore above Cooper. I feel with Curtis Samuel going, there's going to be more opportunities for DJ Moore to have the season we thought he would have last year.
And with the new quarterback.
Yeah, new quarterback. I am on the side that thinks Sam Darnold is an upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater. Not everyone's on that side.
Yeah,
that's okay.
People think it's they're probably on the same level and that it's not going to be much of a difference. But we haven't seen Sam Darnold with weapons. We haven't seen Sam Darnold with a good head coach. So this is going to be the first time we see that. So, and I'm excited.
Paul in the chat, he just dropped a question. He said, what do y'all think of drafting with the strategy to load up at one position and try to make trades during the season? Like loading up on wide receivers and then trying to trade 1 or 2 of them for a stud running back / tight end. I think here's my thought on that. Mm-hmm. You don't want to put yourself in that position, right? Because when you put yourself in that position, you kind of hold yourself ransom to what other people will give you. Right now at the draft, it's a clean start. You can draft whoever you want. You can do whatever strategy you want. Your guys will be on your team. But if you load up at one position and then are just at the mercy of other people's opinions on those players, you're limiting yourself on what sort of returns that you can get. Carter, what's up, my guy Carter? He says, what do you think of the Broncos' chances of landing Watson now that Darnold is off the table? It's definitely a higher chance for the Broncos, but also we don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson and his legal situation. I'll be honest with you. The Texans took a big L all offseason. And, whatever happens with Deshaun Watson, I just want the truth to come out, and I want everyone, justice all around, right? That's what we are hoping for.
Yeah.
But what I will say is his trade value dropped significantly. Like he's probably going to be worth what Matthew Stafford was worth now, because there are those questions, and whether they're right or they're wrong, it's just kind of how it works. His trade value is going to go down. But he could still end up on the Broncos. That wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't surprise if the Broncos traded up and got a quarterback in our last mock draft. You can actually see it on our YouTube page. Got tons of views. It was awesome. But we had Mac Jones going to the Broncos. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Lucas says, I forgot Curtis Samuel gone and Sam Darnold coming in with his relationship with Robbie. Which do you think will be the number one? That's a great question. Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. Who's going to be the wide receiver 1 there in Carolina? I'll quickly comment because I know you're on the board. We don't know. I think if it was up to Matt Rule, Robbie Anderson, but I don't really feel like that connection was like probably relationally. Robbie Anderson and Darnold had a great relationship. But I'm just not sure that on the field you always saw the most amazing results, and that could be because of the Jets organization or whatever. But I think DJ Moore will be the guy I'm taking before Robbie personally, but it could go either way. Robbie's a great value pick late. But you're on the board. Just quickly, Lockett goes off the board. Great value in the 6th round. He's going to be inconsistent again. And then CeeDee Lamb quickly at 6.8. Great pick, CeeDee Lamb at the 6.8. CeeDee Lamb has a chance to finish as a wide receiver 1 in the top 12 this year. Wouldn't surprise me. Look at his numbers before Dak got injured. Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton. That might be too early for Cortland. I think Judy might take the wide receiver 1 role there, especially coming off the injury. DJ Chark could be a good value late with Lawrence coming in. And then you're on the clock. You took Raheem Mostert, and now you're taking another guy. What do you think of Mostert this year?
It's interesting. It's hard. I think his value here doesn't bother me. I like his value here. I think as a flex or another running back that I can kind of use. We saw, if he didn't get hurt, he could have been a top 5 quarterback or top 5 running back. So interesting. Who I'm taking next, I love, and that's Justin Herbert. I need a quarterback.
I was about to take him.
I love Justin Herbert. Obviously, he broke records last year, and I think it's great. It's my quarterback now. And, look, my only downfall to the Raheem Mostert one is that I have George Kittle as well. So it's kind of like in the same boat having 2 49ers. I guess I don't like to have the same players on the same teams or same play.
That's just a personal preference. It's not like a it's not like it's like, that affects fantasy stats. It's just a preference, right?
Yeah, and I kind of want to go back to what Paul kind of asked about what you think about drafting with the strategies to load up on one position. My thought process is you can do that, but you have to know your league. Kind of like I said earlier, if I know somebody in the league is a 49ers fan, and I can sell that 49ers fan and get value that I really wanted and I couldn't get, I'm going to do it. And I'll tell you a great example. Not Tommy. This is probably a bad example because I don't know what type of. Oh, actually, he was. Brandon Baca is a 49ers fan.
Guy in our league.
I traded Travis Kelce and Raheem Mostert for Dalvin Cook and somebody else. I forgot who it was. Dalvin Cook did amazing because I was weak on running backs and I wanted to have a better position, a stronger running back too. So that's what I did. I knew he was a 49ers fan, so I sold Raheem Mostert to him. He probably, and mind you, you have to take advantage. If you listen to our latest podcast, it was in Don't to Dynasty. This is exactly what I did, and I took advantage of him in the best way possible for me.
Yeah. So if guys who don't know much about fantasy come into your league, you're either going to take advantage of them or someone else's and their team's going to be better than yours. So they got to learn some way. It's, I'm sorry, young one. It's the Thanos theme or the Thanos scene.
Yeah.
All right. Brown goes off the board 7-2, way too early, in my opinion. It's way too early for Hollywood. It's just inconsistencies and it's not a pass first team. I would have that Ayuk pick at 7-5 is so beautiful. I love the Ayuk pick. I would have taken Ayuk over a guy like Hollywood Brown. Yeah. Chase Edmonds is a sneaky good pick there, unless they draft someone in the NFL draft. Kenneth Gainwell, two early guys. I don't see Gainwell having like a running back one role, but he could develop over the year depending on where he goes, right? I mean, it's just so hard because this is going to change after the draft.
Yeah, it is going to change after the draft. And if Kenneth Gainwell lands on the Jets, maybe his value goes up because who else is on the Jets that he's going to compete with? No one.
Yeah, true.
So excuse me. It's interesting. But I love Brandon Ayuk. Yeah. Chase Edmonds is great. I do love that pick. And then Kenyan Drake goes at 7-6. Not excited. I guess maybe Noah is taking the other side of your workhorse and Josh Jacobs. And let me ask you this: would you have taken Kenyan Drake after your pick? Would you have taken Josh Jacobs and Kenyan Drake just in case as a handcuff?
No.
Okay.
I just like it. He is the obvious handcuff, but I'm just not excited about taking him.
Right.
Personally.
Makes sense.
All right, so I'm gonna have to reach a little bit here, but I'm gonna be taking. I don't know why he's so far down on sleepers rankings. I don't think he should be available right here, but T.J. Hawkinson. They didn't bring any wide receivers in. Jared Goff is still a competent quarterback. He's not a great quarterback, but he's competent. Who are the weapons in that offense for him to throw to? Tyrell Williams? TJ Hawkinson is going to be the guy there. I think he will get the most targets. So I feel like that's a great value late, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's good. And Zach Ertz, obviously, Rob Gronkowski, Evan Ingram was another guy, and then the rookies.
They really need to update these rankings, bro.
Yeah, they do.
Because, tell me why Zach Ertz is that high. Tell me why these rookies are that high. Anyway.
Interesting.
I think it's good value there, though, regardless. But back to your Kenyan Drake thing. Here's my thoughts on Kenyan Drake. His value will be a flex at best unless Jacobs gets injured. And that's why you dropped him, in case Jacobs gets injured.
Right.
Right? We see it every year. So, yeah.
Ooh. Mike Davis. That's huge. I love that pick. Obviously, we both believe that they're going to draft a running back in the draft. But before then, Mike Davis, this is something special if they don't draft a running back.
Definitely. If Falcons don't draft a running back, then you somehow got a guy with top 20 potential at the running back position in the 7th round. So that would be crazy value. Mm-hmm. Noah commented on his Kenyan Drake pick, and his comment was, He's the most exciting running back on the board at the moment. Just had to get one more with points potential, and I understand.
Right.
And then he asked the question, if that's your belief, can I ask why you are so hesitant to draft Jacobs? I'm hesitant to draft him because we can believe all we want. We can hear reports out of camp when it comes closer to the season of, oh yeah, Jacobs will be the guy. We can just think about how we thought of everything last year. Why was Drake drafted so high? Because we can only hear so much. It has to be played out on the field. And there still is a question mark there that I can't answer you 100%, So, Drake could be amazing value there. He could be amazing value there. But personally, I just don't like investing. But he's probably the best running back available on the board for you at that position at that time. So
yeah, and I think I would take a chance on Drake in the late rounds.
Yeah.
I think this is a where he took him.
Sorry to interrupt, but looking at it, it's not a terrible pick at all. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either. I think Kenyan Drake is going to be the pass catching back where if this is hypotheticals where Josh Jacobs is a first and second down, Kenyan Drake is a third down back who could potentially take touches in the goal line. Significant touches? No. I still think Josh Jacobs gets the goal line touches. He's the bigger back. He's a stronger one. Kenyan Drake can catch the ball, and he's a great blocker. So,
yeah,
that's how I see it.
Yeah. Talk about I'm about to make my pick here. So talk about everything that's happened after TJ Hawkinson.
Oh, you're on the board here. Yeah. Okay, so after TJ Hawkinson, Leonard Fournette, 7-8, Mike Davis, like we said, Hunter Henry at the 7-10, which is interesting. I think I would have taken Jonnu Smith over Hunter Henry. I don't think it's too early. I think this is kind of where these two guys go. Juju at the 7-11. Interesting because Deontay Johnson went at the 801. Tyler Boyd, 7-2. We're not excited about the Pittsburgh Steelers receiving core.
Just because they'll be great for the team, but for fantasy, it's going to be so hard to know who you're supposed to start.
Then David Johnson at the 802, Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, and Lucas had a question about the Texans backfield there.
Oh,
I'm going to quickly make my pick, and then we'll reply to the questions in the chat.
Go for it.
So I'm going to reach a little bit for a guy who I think has top 5 potential at the quarterback position. That's Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying he will finish as a top 5. He could finish as a quarterback 14. That wouldn't surprise me. But I think he has top 5 potential with his running game. So hopefully in this scenario, they brought in another wide receiver, maybe another talent throughout the draft to help that offense. But Jalen Hurts in the 8th round, he is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th, 11th quarterback off the board. I'm comfortable with that personally, taking a chance there.
Yeah.
This is, these rounds 7 to 10 is where you take guys who have good roles that could expand, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah, and I see the Jalen Hurts pick. I'm not excited about it.
I get it.
I think there's still question marks. Obviously, Jalen Reagor, we expect them to get a wide receiver. Who knows whether that's Rashad Bateman or a Devonta Smith falls to them or Waddle falls to them, even though they drafted down again. I doubt those guys will go, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm not excited.
So there was a couple questions in the chat.
Let's see.
Lucas asked about the Texans backfield. We made a post about this after free agency, and we basically said completely avoid the Texans backfield at all costs. And the reason we said that is because, look, Deshaun Watson's not going to be there. He's never going to play for the Texans again. I'm sorry, Texans fans, but that's the truth. He's never going to play for your team again. Will he play in the NFL again? We don't even know. But what you've done is you've made the only reason the Texans could even win games last year was because of Deshaun Watson. Their defense was terrible. It hasn't gotten better. Their offensive line hasn't gotten better. And instead of why was David Johnson considered a value pick last year? Well, he's the only guy there. He's going to get all the touches. He's going to get all the work. Well, now you make the offense even worse, and you add Phillip Lindsay, and you add Mark Ingram. It's for me, it's a complete avoid. I'm not looking to draft any running back. There could be one that's valuable. Could be David Johnson. But for me, I would rather go somewhere else where I know there's potential upside. So that's how I see it. Yeah. I don't know how you see it.
Yeah, I think somebody here is going to do something. It's not going to be massive, and I do agree with you. I think if you David Johnson at the 8-2 is great. There's no one else. If you really look at it, Todd Gurley, James Conner. I think I would probably take James Conner over David Johnson, but that's still not exciting.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I mean, probably not. David Johnson has a more solidified role, but it depends on where he lands. I want to quickly remind everyone, this is not a dynasty draft. This is a PPR redraft, and I'm not sure if our fourth spot is drafting as if it is dynasty, because you've got two quarterbacks now. You're only going to start one in this league. It's not a super flex. You might be drafting as if it's a super flex for fun, but just a reminder, this is a redraft, not dynasty, not super flex.
I don't know what to go. I don't know what to do here, but
yeah, you got 3 seconds.
I'm taking Jerry Jeudy here. I need another receiver.
Okay,
I don't mind
like it.
Yeah, I think that's good. Hopefully he gets a better quarterback, whether that's in the draft or if Deshaun Watson does get traded there, because that's what we've been talking about this whole time.
If Deshaun Watson got traded somehow to Broncos and everything was sorted out, Jerry Jeudy would be like a top fourth, like in the fourth round. He would go maybe even earlier. Like, wow, so much upside. Elite route runner. All right, so after Jalen Hurts, I want to quickly highlight a couple players. I'm going to do it in 30 seconds because you're going to make your pick. Deebo Samuel in the 8th round. I love it. Amazing upside. Zach Moss at the 8.8. Feel like he's kind of limited in his upside, but I get the pick. Not much value at the running back position yet. Lawrence, too early, guys, for any rookie quarterbacks. Rookie quarterbacks in redraft should go in the 10th round or later, and you shouldn't really have more than 2 quarterbacks at this time. Logan Thomas. I like the Logan Thomas pick here. It could be a great value pick. Devontae Smith could be a great value pick depending on where he goes. Oh, and the time is up for Badaki.
The time is up. I got auto picked. I could have. You were like 30 seconds. I was like, oh, okay. I was gonna wait for you to stop talking and then go.
Todd Gurley's not even on a team, but he's on Badaki's team.
He's on my team. I think I was gonna take another running back there, and I probably would have taken Michael Carter, or either Michael Carter or Chubba Hubbard, and then taken a risk on one of the rookie running backs there. Yeah. We don't know where they're gonna go, but I think maybe if they do land on on a decent team, then that's probably where I can take a chance with them.
And this is where in the draft you're starting to take more risks on high upside guys. Guys who could be, like Justin Jefferson went in like the 11th to 13th round last year in most drafts. Yeah. So this is where you take high upside. I love the Will Fuller pick at 9.3 because there could be some really good value there. Chase Claypool in the 9th round is even. Oh my God! How did T. Higgins fall this far?
Who knows?
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's amazing value. Amazing value.
Shout out to Paulie D.
Yeah, I have no idea how he fell that far. Genuinely.
How do I get out of auto pick?
Go to Q and then untick auto pick.
There we go. Awesome.
Okay, so T. Higgins, I'm upset because I was probably going to draft him, but well done. Noah said 100% with you. I value Drake as a flex, but genuinely like that he like that low end potential for RB1. Love the Jeudy pick. Colts receivers. So let's talk about Colts receivers.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm going to have to make a pick, but talk about the Colts receivers.
Yeah, look.
In 2021.
It's interesting. Obviously, Carson Wentz is there. I believe that Michael Pittman Jr. is going to be that guy. Carson Wentz likes to throw to a bigger body. He had obviously Alshon Jeffrey, and he likes to throw the ball deep. So I think Michael Pittman, his role is going to change where T.Y. Hilton is still going to be that slot receiver, that outside, that second guy. Obviously, I think they're going to bring in another slot receiver to see kind of what happens there. But I think I'm going with, if I had to go dynasty, obviously Michael Pittman. But redrafts, I think I'll go T.Y. and take a chance on him this year. He's healthier.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's he had time to
relax.
There is
value there, though.
Yeah, there definitely is value.
There's definitely value there.
I don't mind.
On the board. And at this point, I'm just looking for guys who could potentially be breakouts in their second year. It's a little bit early, but Henry Ruggs, too much speed for them not to figure out a role for him, in my opinion. They drafted him so early.
Wow, Robbie.
They have to try and figure out a role for him in his second year. So Robbie Anderson off the board is a great pick as well. Really great pick. Lots of value.
It's just so hard. You can't even see them. Like, I didn't even see Robbie. I would have. That was
same, bro. Like they need to figure out their system because people keep making picks and we're like, oh crap.
I'm just gonna scroll really all the way down.
Yeah.
Preston Williams, Laviska Shenault. Sorry, I'm saying names maybe. Who else?
Yeah, you're actually saying names that shouldn't be said.
I see another name that I'm saying, wow, I cannot believe that guy's still on the board.
Okay, Dallas Goedert at the 9-9 is actually really good value. I like that pick because he will be the main tight end target there. Tom Brady in the 9th round. Don't hate it. Tom Brady finished really great last year. What was he, like a top 5 quarterback, if I'm not mistaken, in fantasy? So, you know, they brought back the entire starting offense. Wouldn't be surprised if he could finish as a top 7 guy this year.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting him as the 12th, 13th quarterback off the board. So
yeah, maybe. Yeah. I think you mentioned this last time. Some people are taking 2 quarterbacks because maybe they think it's a different draft. Maybe they're getting 2 quarterbacks because they are thinking about that bye week. You know.
Yeah.
So
maybe
and
that's true. You know, we have to think about things differently. But it's still only one bye week.
Yeah, and I think that's why I wanted to address for the 2 people that have 2 quarterbacks on their teams. I don't like to pick up a second quarterback. I would, for example, if Justin Herbert I have and his bye week is week 9, I'm looking for a quarterback that's on waiver wires around week 7 to pick him up. I don't like to draft 2 quarterbacks.
At this point, if you're drafting a quarterback for bye weeks, you're thinking way too ahead. All right, Jameson Crowder off the board at the 111. I'm sorry, Lucas, but I don't love the pick, and the only reason is Jameson Crowder had value last year because he was the only wide receiver really worth having.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Davis signing kind of takes away Crowder's value a little bit, and we don't really know what the rookie Zach Wilson is going to be able to accomplish. So it's a little bit too early for me. I would have taken him late 12, 13. Oh, well, we don't have more than 13 rounds, but for me, it's a little bit too early. Is that fair or is that too harsh?
No, that's fair. The Jameson Crowder, I believe he goes undrafted this year, or he goes in the very
late rounds.
Yeah.
Le'Veon
Bell. Wow.
I just got auto picked.
It's okay. This is where you get like, like who do I take here? You know.
Yeah, it's this is where I like taking rookies. If I'm honest with you. I like looking at the rookie class and thinking, who could be a guy with a bunch of upside that no one's thinking about right now?
Joe Burrow, Terrace Marshall.
Terrace Marshall's a great pick because I was considering him myself.
Terrace Marshall.
Okay, so I'm on the board, and amazing speed. Hopefully, when he gets drafted, a team tries to utilize him within a role. Maybe it's a pass catching back. Maybe it's a 3rd down role. I'm assuming a team's going to utilize him properly. Chubba Hubbard is going off the board. He is my 4th running back.
If you guys
feel great about my running backs.
Yeah, if you guys don't know who Chubba Hubbard is, look him up. He's special. If it's not Javonte. Oh no.
Oh, Curtis Samuel was a great value pick there as well.
I would rather have
Curtis Samuel than Henry Ruggs, but this damn sleeper app.
I was gonna take Curtis Samuel. I was hoping he was gonna fall to me.
This sleeper app is needing an update. But go ahead.
Yeah, but just look up Chubba Hubbard. Look at his highlights. Obviously, the tape says a lot. But if he does fall on the right team with the right opportunity, I think he could be something special. Shout out to Smitty because I didn't even know who Chubba Hubbard was.
Yeah.
Until he said,
shout out to Schmidt.
He said Chubba Hubbard is going to be that guy, and I watched his tape and I was like, whoa. You know.
Yeah, Chubba's got a lot of potential, a lot of upside. There's names I don't want to say a name because people are still drafting, but there's a lot of names that you have to go really far down the list. There's a lot of value still out there.
Yeah.
But this ADP is absolute nonsense right now.
It is. It's pretty bad.
But this is the part of the draft where you take risks. You have your starting lineup, hopefully at this point. You have your flex, you have a couple bench pieces, and now you're thinking, where's the upside, right? Like, where is the upside that I could potentially snag a guy like Curtis Samuel in the 10th? Amazing value. And he's got, I think his floor is last year. In my opinion, that's his floor in this offense, especially with Fitzpatrick there. Terrace Marshall, could he be drafted by the Chiefs? We've heard rumors. Could he land in the Chiefs and then you get an absolute steal in the 10th round? Robbie Anderson's amazing value there as well. T. Higgins, like, this is a part of the draft where you're looking for guys with massive, massive upside. I love the Robert Tonyan pick, by the way, Bobby Tani, because he will come back and probably play the same role he had last year. Singletary in the 10th, not terrible value. That's probably a point where it's like, hey, I need a running back.
Where is this guy? Hold on, sorry. You
got 2 seconds.
Where's the guy at? I literally just had. Oh,
he just got auto picked again.
Oh my god.
Well, congratulations. You now have Brashad Perryman.
I just clicked somebody. Who's the guy I was gonna pick? Hold on.
You can actually search for a player. Control S.
Corey Davis. That's who I was gonna take.
Noah's in the chat and he says, "Shout out to Sleeper for the garbage rankings,
bro."
Right now, honestly, shout out to Sleeper. We're literally having to go down like 12 pages to find the guys we're actually looking for.
Who I would have taken there was Corey Davis. I'm gonna take Corey Davis, and I'm gonna tell you the other guy I was gonna pick, which would have been. It would have been a running back. So just so you know, kind of my thought process. Let's see. Let's go down. I like Jaden McKissick. I think maybe he could be something interesting. I would have taken him potentially. Let's see who else could have been.
That's interesting because I actually feel like Jaden McKissick was only useful last year. I think Gibson's role expands, and personally, I feel like McKissick's going to be a bust this year. I would not love to be wrong because I want to see Gibson get the full workload.
Yeah.
But I just don't see the upside for McKissick this year anymore. And friendly reminder, Alex Smith, Kyle Allen, like the kings of checkdowns. And Fitzpatrick is a guy who's constantly trying to push the ball down the field. I just don't see, Alex Smith is a guy who's like, oh, it's third and 9. Oh, I don't see anything. Let me check the ball down. Ryan Fitzpatrick is like, oh, it's 3rd and 9. Well, yeah, Terry McLaurin's triple covered. Well, let me just throw the ball up and see if anything can happen. You know what I mean? So that's my thought process on J.D. McKissick. I'm just not super high on him personally.
Yeah, it's. I would like to be wrong as well, and I think that's again that's where we take our chances. Like, imagine taking J.D. McKissick and him. Joe won with Jaden McKissick in the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's true. There's, it's a high upside pick with not much risk. I get it. Trey says Fantasy Pros and ESPN have the more accurate rankings. You're right. They do, but they don't have a great mock draft system, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would probably be using them. Sleeper app's actually really great. They just take forever to update things. Okay. So I'm in a position now. I'm on the board. I've got my quarterback. I've got 4 running backs, 1 with high upside, 3 I trust. I've got 3 wide receivers I trust, 1 with upside. So I'm on the place where I could literally pick anyone. Like, it doesn't matter who I pick at this point because it's just an upside pick.
Right.
So when I'm looking at the board, I'm thinking surely the Patriots have a plan with both tight ends, right? Surely they knew what they were planning on doing when they signed both of them for big money. So I'm going to take a chance on Jonnu Smith here, getting my second tight end, hoping that one of them, maybe both of them, do really well, and then I have some trade value.
Who knows? I do like the pick. I think Jonnu went really late. I think Jonnu should be going in the 7th, 8th round. Obviously everything here is still going to change. Let's remember that. T. Higgins is not going 9.5. Robbie Anderson is not going 9.8. All these guys aren't going this slow. Expect all these to be jumbled around, and the expectations of these guys. I think maybe where we see rookies, maybe that's where we can plug in these guys.
For sure.
That
makes sense.
T. Higgins could probably go at the 5.12, maybe where Jamar Chase is, or the 6.9 where Jalen Waller is, or around that area, because he's not going to fall that low. No way. I don't believe it.
So, just to quickly comment on the last couple picks, Jalen Reagor at the 11-8. That's beautiful. I was hoping he would fall to me at the last pick because I really feel like there's some potential there. Anthony McFarland, just not sure there's enough upside to warrant the pick. You got to look at guys who have unknown roles. I just feel like McFarland's role is just really, really limited. I don't know. I get the Alexander Madison pick because in case Dalvin Cook goes down. But here's what we have to realize is even if a guy goes down, it doesn't automatically mean value. Like when Dalvin was out that one game, everyone was like, smash start Alexander Madison.
Yeah.
And then he got like 3 points. I remember I started him and I was like, you honestly suck, Alexander Madison. So Fantasy Calculator, we'll have to check that out. Hey guys, thanks to everyone who's still watching. 13 people watching right now. If you could do us a massive favor and just drop a like on this video, let's get to 13 likes. Everyone who's watching, just drop one like. That would mean so much to us, so we can get more people knowing the Fantasyland brand. Okay, so Sebastian had a question. He said, are you going to post the full draft on Instagram so people can see which one is best? Badaki, are we going to do that?
We can.
Yeah.
Well, we won't give you a definite answer now. If we do, obviously you'll see the post, but no promises at the moment. How about that?
I feel like we'll make something out of it, though.
Yeah, we'll definitely make something.
Likely.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make something, but I don't know how we're gonna do a graphic with the whole mock draft like this. Maybe just a screenshot.
I have an idea. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah.
Every time we ask for people to drop a like on the videos, we always get one dislike for some reason. I think someone's trolling us. Okay. So now's at the point of the draft. Again, you're just looking for all upside. Okay. Your whole draft is figured out. Now you're just consistently looking for upside picks.
I can't believe I have Todd Gurley and Brashad Perryman.
Yeah, that's
just
unfortunate.
Who am I? There's so many good people still on the board. Rondell, so I'm just going to say names because
I was literally about to take Rondell Moore.
It's Rondell Moore.
So, Rondell Moore, a high upside depending on where he lands. Could play a Tyreek Hill role for some team. But go ahead and talk some names that are on the board that shouldn't be.
I see Rondell Moore, Devonta Parker, potentially. Amari St. Brown, I like him depending on where he lands. That's another guy I see.
Amari and Terry, but depends on the roles,
Yeah, exactly. Cole Beasley. Deshaun Jackson is interesting. I think he still goes undrafted. John Brown in Vegas now. I see Elijah.
Yeah, John Brown could play the role that Aguilar did last year. He could fill into that role.
Elijah Moore, he's a rookie once again, depending on where he goes.
AJ Green there's not a terrible pick because, maybe they integrate him more into the offense as a wide receiver too in Arizona. So no risk pick, but could be high reward.
Yeah, exactly. Look, there's so many people here, like, wow.
Denzel Mims could be a sneaky good pick there. How is Chenault still on the board?
Yeah, Laviska Chenault. Did Darnell Mooney go off the board?
All right, so we got a couple comments. Darnell Mooney's not off the board, and he should be, and so should Chenault.
I want to take one of those.
If you hate sleeper, drop a like. Trying to get as many likes as possible. Okay, so we got a couple comments. Someone said they already liked. Shout out to you, Lucas. Let's get a draft grade at the end here. We will definitely let's take a little more time at the end here and actually go through everyone's draft and give them a grade here, Badaki.
Okay, so I took Darnell Mooney as the last pick there.
Sebastian wants you to post it because he thinks he has the best.
Sebastian, what team? What's your team name?
Everyone comment your team number where you drafted. So Jesus is Light is 2. I am 7. Comment where you are because we're about to give you some draft grades. Noah said he heard Larry's going to retire. Honestly, we've been waiting for Larry to retire because we have a graphic for him. It's just in our drafts on Instagram. So whenever you're ready, Larry, no pressure, but whenever you're ready, my guy, we're ready to have you retire. Okay, Badaki, go first. Let's talk about your team.
Okay, my team, it's a little bit
1.1.
Okay, 1.1 CMC, I love it. George Kittle, love. AJ Brown, love. This is where I put myself in a little bind here. Myles Gaskin, I don't have a good RB2, which is a little bit hard to kind of navigate later because this is all pre-draft. So I do expect the Dolphins to get a running back. Who that is, doesn't matter, but we do expect him to lose touches. Mike Evans is a decent wide receiver. I'm not really happy with it. I think now looking, I see Terry, I would have taken. I see Robert Woods, I would have taken over. CeeDee Lamb, I probably would have taken over Mike Evans. Those guys. Raheem Mostert.
Shout out to Sleeper.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert, Justin Herbert. I do like those guys at those picks. Great value picks for me, I think, is Jerry Jeudy at the 8-12. Obviously, 9-1 and 10-12. And Todd Gurley, Bashard Perryman, auto pick. Corey Davis, I probably would have took him around where Todd Gurley is at, and Bashard Perryman, and Darnell Mooney. So move those two guys up.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's kind of what.
So give yourself a draft grade quickly, and then we're gonna talk about Noah's draft because he's got to go.
Draft grade quickly for me is probably C-.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
This is why we do mocks. Okay, let's have a look at Noah's draft. He went Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson. I'm gonna read off positionally. All right, so he's got Josh Allen as his quarterback. His running backs are Nick Chubb, Antonio Gibson, Kenyan Drake, Damian Harris, and Alexander Madison. His wide receivers are Robert Woods, Tyler Lockett, Deebo Samuel, Curtis Samuel, and AJ Green. His tight end is Darren Waller. So, personally, I feel like it's a really solid team. There's not actually many weaknesses. Your wide receiver core might be your weakness, but still, Robert Woods is going to get significant targets. Tyler Lockett won't be consistent, but he will win you weeks. And then you have kind of yourself covered at wide receiver late because Deebo's got the potential to be a top 20 wide receiver. Same with Samuel. So there's a lot of potential still. The only thing I personally would say is I think it's too early to draft a quarterback. You know, I still feel like there is value out there, but overall, I would give this a B+.
Yeah, I think that's great.
How would you give it?
I like his team a lot. I think without looking at everyone else's team, he might have the best team here. Strong running backs.
This all depends on Chubb, by the way.
Yeah, this all depends on Chubb. Obviously, the only guy I'm hesitant on his team is Chubb. You know, I believe Antonio, Waller, Josh, Woods, Tyler Lockett. I hear the inconsistency, but I do believe that he's going to do better than he did last year.
He just got paid, so they're going to use him.
Deebo Samuel, if he stays healthy, he can be a top 20 receiver, in my opinion. So I like it.
All right, let's look at the next team. Let's look at two. Let's just go across the board. So Jesus is light. Apparently his dad drafted him. Shout out to your dad and you. I don't remember what your actual name is, but I think you are Jesus and Taco Bell on Instagram. But all right, so he starts Dalvin. You can't lose. Can't lose Dalvin Cook. Chris Carson's still going to have an amazing role, so I love the pick. And then DeAndre Swift. Starting 3 running backs early, I love it. I'm always a component, not a component. I'm always a, what's the word?
What's the word?
I always say that's a good thing. Shout out to English class. I love starting running back early. Here's my issue with your
strategy.
Sorry. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm an advocate. There we go.
Right.
I'm an advocate.
There we go.
Running back drafts. We got there in the end. Shout out to Miss Smith, my English teacher. Okay. Russell Wilson's too early. I'm just going to be honest. It's too early for Russell Wilson at the 4.1. Honestly, I would be more comfortable taking a Kyler Murray there.
Okay.
Even a Dak Prescott there. Even a Justin Herbert there. It's just too early. I don't know that they're going to go back to the run game, but it feels like if Pete Carroll has his way, Russell Wilson's not going to be throwing as much as he was last year. It's too early in my opinion. Is that fair or is that harsh?
Look, Russ is an amazing quarterback. I see the potential. I probably see why. I think I do like other quarterbacks. I do like Dak, Kyler. I do like the only 2 I like above Russell is Kyler and Dak.
Okay.
I think I'll take Russ over Lamar. I think I'll take.
Ooh.
I think. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Well, we see it differently, obviously, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at your wide receiver core. I think it's a weakness for you. Thielen might not be the wide receiver 1 in Minnesota. I said that week 5 last year, and I got a lot of hate comments.
Right.
DJ Chark, high upside, but then you got Brown, too early for Brown. Fant's a good value pick, and then I like that you went with the handcuff for the running back at the end there, Tony Pollard. Let's give him a grade. I hate to be super harsh, but to me, it's a C+. And that's how we do mocks.
I agree with that.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I think that's all right. Do a couple good trades, see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at Lucas's team. He is at the 111. He's got to go, so let's quickly do that.
Okay.
Zeke first. Again, I said this at the beginning. I think it's great value for Zeke in the first round. I love that you got Kelsey, the biggest X factor in fantasy. Kareem Hunt's too early, right?
I don't know. I think maybe he's probably a round too early. I don't think he's significantly early. If he steps up and does the same role he did last year, then maybe this is a good feel.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's I'll quickly wrap this up. Odell's too early for me. I love the Keenan Allen pick. OBJ is too early for me. Rodgers, there's good value there. David Johnson's too early. Crowder's too early. White, I would rather have gone for a rookie that has upside, but I do love your last pick in Michael Pittman. There's a lot of upside there. Overall, I'm sorry to be harsh, but I'm going to give you a C flat, just because I feel like there was some picks that were too early in my opinion. What grade are you going to give Lucas quickly?
I do like his tight end, and I think that's what kind of boosts him up. So C plus. I think once again you can do some trades.
And this is why we do mocks, guys. Okay, like don't worry, you'll be here in the next mock draft, and you'll have an A. Okay, let's look at
Rhino.
Rhino at the 3. So Rhino, go ahead, you take this one.
Yeah, look, I do like Rhino's team. Okay, Saquon Barkley, Joe Mixon, Chase Edmonds, and James Conner are his running backs. This is not bad. Saquon Barkley, Joe Mixon coming, both coming off of injuries. Chase Edmonds is a sleeper here, because he's the number one guy there. Yeah. We expect him to get something,
good value.
Some competition. Receivers: Stephon Diggs, Allen Robinson, Cortland Sutton, Will Fuller, and Elijah Moore. Look, I think, my personal opinion, I like where Cortland Sutton is, 6'10". I do believe that, Jerry Jeudy is going to be coming in and transitioning and getting more touches. Who knows who the quarterback is? If it's Drew Luck, I still believe Cortland Sutton could be this guy that comes in and does something. So I do like your receivers. I think your weakest point is tight end. And when I say weakest, I mean like these are two good guys, Logan Thomas and Robert Tonyan. But I think the inconsistencies are going to hurt here. I think I would have liked a TJ Hawkinson. I probably would have even taken a Rob Gronkowski potentially over these guys. Now with Curtis Samuel in Washington, that kind of hurts. Robert Tonyan, we don't know. I think he's unrestricted free agent still.
I think he'll be back with the pack.
Yeah.
Here's my issues with the draft. I don't like Mixon at 2. I would rather have Carson. I would rather have Swift. I would rather have Robinson if they don't bring anyone else in. I'm just not a big Joe Mixon guy. I love your wide receiver core, specifically the first 2. But the main issue with your draft is just depth. You have a lot of upside, but not a lot of depth. James Conner's not on a team. Will Fuller, will he have a role? Maybe. Cortland Sutton, I'm not convinced that he's the wide receiver 1 there. So I like the draft, though. I think it's getting Kyler Murray in the 5th has a lot of upside. So I actually give this a B, personally.
Okay. I was going to give it a B as well. So I like that pick. Or I like that grade. I do like his receivers. I think Saquon, I think the first 4 picks, 5 picks, first 6 picks are really strong, in my opinion.
I'd say the first 5 picks are, if the first 5 picks I'm only grading, I would have given it a B plus.
Okay.
Just Mixon. If it wasn't Mixon, if it was Carson instead of Mixon, it would have been an A. So you're on the right track. You just got to figure out the late round values. All right, on to the 4th team. I'll start with this one. This is, I think 2 and 4 is son and dad. So shout out to you guys for watching. All right, so Derrick Henry at the 4. You can't go wrong with Henry or Kamara, right? You can't go wrong with either option there. So it's a strong way to start. Patrick Mahomes, I'll let you talk on that because you were going to take Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
I'm more of a advocate of running back early, not quarterback early. So you go ahead and take
Look,
that.
I think I did this last year probably for the first time. I took a running back. I actually took Saquon. Was it Saquon? No, I forgot who it was.
You got Saquon.
Last year?
Yeah, you got Saquon and then you did Mahomes.
Okay, so I took Saquon, Mahomes, Travis Kelce fell to me in the 3rd. I was hurting at running back, plus because Saquon got hurt. Oh, I had Zeke in one of our leagues. Sorry. It was Zeke, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce, which fell to me, which were great value. I just hurt in the running back later on in the year. I had Raheem Mostert. I took him again this year, or in this mock draft. Obviously, Zeke kind of fell off, but those were my foundations of my team. My top 3 got me to the playoffs, got me to the finals. Even still, when Zeke wasn't doing well, it still got me there. So I think Patrick Mahomes is a must in the first 2 rounds, in my opinion.
All right. James Robinson was your second running back. I think it's good value there that late. I really do think it is good value. Amari Cooper, great that you got him in the 4th round. Still has wide receiver 1 potential. Don't know that, the issue is the emergence of CeeDee Lamb might take more spotlight than people realize over Amari, but I think it's good value that late.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. Every other pick is now a question mark for me. Okay, Ronald Jones might be too early because you did bring back Leonard Fournette, and we've heard a bunch of reports that they're going to be trying to get what's his name, the rookie they drafted last year, Keyshawn Vaughn. Apparently, they're going to try and carve out a role for him. Mm-hmm. So I see Jones as potentially expendable for them. Waddle could be a good pick depending on where he lands. Gainwell, it's too early. Don't know the role. I've said this the whole draft, but no rookie quarterbacks should go higher than the 10th to 12th round. We don't know what their situation will look like. And then I like the Claypool pick. I like the Gesicki pick, but I'm not a fan of the others personally.
Yeah, I think I agree. The first 4 picks are really strong in my opinion. Then it falls off really, really hard. Claypool, Sammy Watkins, all question marks. I think for me, if we want to be completely honest, this is a D. This is a D team. Even though
sorry, Dad.
Yeah, even though your 4 players are foundational players, that's great. But there's nothing else that's gonna happen here. Trevor Lawrence, you're not gonna start because you have Patrick Mahomes. Okay, Chase Claypool, you probably start Chase Claypool and Amari Cooper, and then nothing else.
Just to quickly, because the only reason we're giving grades is because we want to help you get the best roster come the season, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, this is good.
You made a great point about Patrick Mahomes. If you lock up Patrick Mahomes, you don't need to worry about a quarterback again. Mm-hmm. You actually only need another quarterback when your quarterback's on waivers. You don't need to think about it ever again. So instead of taking Trevor Lawrence, take a guy with high upside. That's a younger guy. Like take a Curtis Samuel, right? Take a rookie throughout the draft.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is helpful. Let's move on to Paulie's team here. Yeah. You want to take this one?
Yeah, I'll go for it. Running backs: Alvin Kamara, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Najee Harris, Zach Moss, AJ Dillon. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is hard for both of us to gauge how Clyde is gonna kind of look in this year.
Yeah.
Zach Moss, AJ Dillon. We don't see any workload coming through. Najee Harris, with the thought process of him going to the Steelers, we understand that. So I don't mind that. Terry McLaurin.
I'll quickly, sorry. Mm-hmm. AJ Dillon, I love the pick late. Because if Aaron Jones is injured, AJ Dillon automatically has top 12 upside every week. So I like the pick late. He's a guy I'm going to be looking to draft as a handcuff late for Aaron Jones. Oh. And if you're an Aaron Jones owner, you have to secure AJ Dillon, in my opinion.
Okay. That makes sense. I can see it. I still have to feel it out. Okay, I still have to feel it out.
Go ahead and keep talking about it. I have some thoughts, but
well, I was just going to continue to the wide receivers, so you can go to. All right, I'll go with wide receivers then. So I think this is where you're strong. Yes. Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, and then Christian Kirk at the very last pick. These are strong foundational players. Mm-hmm. Okay, these guys are going to produce. Brandon Ayuk was an amazing talent last year. CeeDee Lamb. There's a lot of people believe that he's going to be wide receiver 1 in this offense. So I think this is all these picks are great, in my opinion.
Yeah. And this is why I've always said running back early. Because look at the depth. Terry McLaurin, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins. That is 4 wide receivers I'm comfortable starting on any team. So I like the pick, assuming Joe Burrow's back, right? Mark Andrews in the 4th round. You have to reach for quality tight end sometimes. Overall, I'm going to give you a B+ because I really do enjoy this draft. And I think Stafford late is a great pick. That's no risk, high reward scenario.
Yeah, I agree. I would say A-.
Okay. So Paulie killed it. We'll do my draft last. Let's go to the 1.8. Burluke. Okay. All right. So Devonta Adams is your 1.8. I'll take this one. So at quarterback, you got Lamar. Great value in the 5th. I like that. Your running backs, you've got J.K. Dobbins, David Montgomery, Leonard Fournette, Marlon Mack. This might be your weakness, because I'm someone who's on the side of David Montgomery's ADP is too high for what he's going to return. I know he had an amazing playoffs last year.
Yeah.
But guys, I just want to remind you, Tariq Cohen wasn't there, and he had the best strength of schedule for a running back. So that means every week that he popped off, he should have. If he didn't pop off, you should have been angry at him. He had the best remaining schedule. So I'm someone who's on the belief that there will be touches taken away.
Yeah.
I don't think Andy Dalton's a good quarterback. Look what happened to Zeke when Andy Dalton stepped in. It destroyed his value. So personally, I just don't like David Montgomery as my RB2. If he somehow gets to be my RB3, I'm more comfortable with it. But then you got Fournette and Mack. Instead of Mack, I would have taken someone with more upside personally. I would have taken maybe one of the rookies. So I'm just not a massive fan of Mack unless you have, let's say, Jonathan Taylor, as a handcuff. Okay, so your wide receivers is where you're strong, though. So that's the good part. Devonta Adams, the best wide receiver in the league. Getting Calvin Ridley, who was a top 5 wide receiver last year in the 4th round, is insane value. So I really, really love that pick. I probably would have taken Calvin over Julio if he was still there.
Okay.
And then you've got DJ, you got Robbie, Terrace, and Jalen Reagor. Your only weak spot, really, in my opinion, is your RB2 and your tight end. Right? Jared Cook shouldn't be your starting tight end. So I'm gonna give this draft a B for me.
Okay, I would say C for me.
Okay. All right, let's go through these last ones.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it quickly. 1992ers. Let's do. I like how you started. Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow. Once again, this is a 2 quarterback. This is 1 quarterback league redraft. We wouldn't have drafted 2 quarterback Deshaun Watson if he does play. Maybe he took Joe Burrow thinking that Deshaun Watson is not going to play, but he took him just in case. So that could be a thing. But you could have got him in the later rounds. Running back, this is where you are extremely weak. You only have 3 running backs: Melvin Gordon, Mike Davis, and Anthony McFarland. Mike Davis is the only guy we believe can be some sort of value in this team. Wide receivers, I think this is...
Well, sorry, Melvin Gordon will be value, just not 3rd round value.
Yeah.
More where Mike Davis went value.
Correct. Then we go receivers: Tyreek, DK, Michael Thomas, McCole Harmon. Your top 3 receivers are strong: Michael Thomas, DK, Tyreek. We don't see McCole Harmon doing anything in this year. And then you have 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends.
Too much.
Too much. Irv Smith, Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. We expect Zach Ertz to be on a different team. Dallas Goedert, yes, is great value, but it's either you have to choose, kind of take one of these guys out. If we had to take one of these guys out, maybe Zach Ertz. Irv Smith, we could potentially see him doing something, but
it's probably too early.
You have to remember Dalvin, JJ, and Thielen is there. So
yeah.
Once again, if we have to be completely honest, this is not the strongest team. You have good, strong people in Tyreek, Michael Thomas, Deshaun Watson, Mike Davis. So maybe like a D+ potentially.
Yeah, I was going to say C-, but that's okay. That's why we mock.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tommy's team is at the 10. So your quarterbacks are Justin Fields and Tom Brady. It's too early for Fields. Way too early. In redraft, this isn't Dynasty. He should be 10th round and onwards type selection.
Mm-hmm.
Your running backs, you've got Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is your only reliable running back. Okay. Javonte Williams could be a great running back if he gets a good role. But you're really weak at running back. Your wide receivers are great. You've got Hopkins. You've got Godwin. Excuse me. You've got Bateman, Tony, and Hilton. So there's some good upside there. You took Pitts early, which I think could pay off for you. I don't hate that pick. So overall, in my opinion, you're pretty weak at running back, which is really, really important here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a C-.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
It's all love, Tommy.
The only reason it's not a D is because there's a lot of upside, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of upside with those late picks and Tony and Bateman. So, all right, last one. It's your white boy. Take it away, Badaki.
All right. In your quarterbacks, you have Dak Prescott, I believe, is a strong start. Then you have your running backs: Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler at the 2-1, Travis Etienne, and Michael Carter. Okay, I like these guys. I like each and every one of them. If Travis Etienne and Michael Carter go to the right team with the opportunity, you have a good, strong running backs. Okay.
Yeah.
And your wide receivers as well: Justin Jefferson, Jamal Chase. We expect him to go to the Bengals. Tyler Boyd, Deontay Johnson, Jarvis Landry, and Marvin Jones.
Yeah.
I think Deontay Johnson I like over Chase Claypool and Juju. I do believe his workload. For redrafts, I do believe his workload is going to be in question for a couple weeks, but I do like it. Jarvis Landry is a sleeper, kind of. When OBJ got hurt, Jarvis Landry stepped up. Marvin Jones, we're not really sure what he's going to do, but Justin Jefferson, we know. Jamar Chase, if he goes to the Bengals, we know. Tyler Boyd, we know. But if Jamar Chase does go to the Bengals, then you have 2 Bengal players, so that's a problem.
This is one of the strongest teams, in my opinion.
And then your tight end is Rob Gronkowski. So I think you're there. It's really strong. I do like it. I do think that Paulie D team is stronger. But I'll give him a B+.
I'm going to give it an A. I think it's a great mix of upside and great value picks as well. Getting Dak that late is crazy. Getting Rob that late is really good value. So I like it. I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to wrap up with my team quickly. Jonathan Taylor, Cam Akers, Josh Jacobs. My quarterback's Jalen Hurts. My wide receiver is Julio Jones, Kenny Galladay, Cooper Kupp. My tight end is TJ Hawkinson. And then I've got some late round value in Henry Ruggs, Chubba Hubbard, Jonnu Smith, and Rondale Moore. I'm going to be very biased here, but I love this draft. I think it's a great mix of value picks and filling the strategy I wanted to, which was running back early. Josh Jacobs is my 3rd running back. So personally, I'm going to rate it a B+. I really, really like this draft. Do you feel the same way, or am I too high on myself?
No, I like it. I think your team is pretty strong. The only guy I don't like is probably Jalen Hurts and the quarterback. I think I see why. But all the quarterbacks went. I guess the only other available quarterback would have been Matthew Stafford, but I think I would have taken Jalen Hurts over Matthew Stafford. Yeah. So it makes sense why Jalen Hurts is there. He's just my only question mark for your team.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. This has been a long video, but appreciate you guys. If you're still here, drop a like. Link in the bio, solo.to/fantasylandfootball will take you to everything we do. But appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks.
Huge love. Thank you guys. Like you said, everything that we do. Patreon.com/FantasylandFam as well. Make sure you go there. Thank you so much. It's huge love. We love doing these things. Let us know what you want to see next.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
Laters.
Laters.